Oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. How good does this feel? This feels good. I could really get used to this Denver Broncos country. The Denver Broncos just went into SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles and we demolished, and I mean it, demolished the Los Angeles Chargers. Score 24-7, and it was way bigger blowout than that score would even indicate. Sean Payton is just walking around breaking streaks like it's his full-time 9-to-5 job. He is breaking the streak for consecutive losses to our dreaded rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs. We hadn't beat them in like 5,000 days or something insane like that. Boom, breaks it his first year. We break the streak of how long it had been since we had a 10 touchdown receiver. We'd have Courtland Sutton on this team for several years, yet, man, he is on pace for like 14 touchdowns if he keeps this current pace up. He's breaking that streak. We hadn't won in Buffalo since 2007. Sean Payton breaks that streak. We hadn't won a game yet in SoFi. Sean Payton just broke that streak right now, and it feels so good, Broncos. And I think the best part is that the next streak we have to break is our consecutive years without making the NFL playoffs. It's going to happen this year. We got so much to break down in this video. This is actually my third time recording this video. I've had some major technology issues, but nothing can get me down because the Broncos just beat the Chargers and it feels so good. So let's dive in here. Some of the things that I just think feel amazing about this win in particular. So the first thing to me was it is very difficult to fake desperation in this league. That so often the most desperate team is the team that wins, and you can't drum that feeling up in yourself. You heard Matt Ryan in his broadcast talk about how this was a must-win game for the Chargers. Yet, even though their backs were up against the wall, they were a caged animal. That's a scary animal to try to grab, and we grabbed him and just threw him around, put him wherever we wanted to, and that felt incredible. I think not only was the Chargers' backs against the wall, that Brandon Staley's back was against the wall. He knows his days are numbered. He is on his way out. There's no way after watching that coaching performance that they keep him around. If they can get Harbaugh, I think they pick up the phone and make that call right now, because there were several times when, if they had just kicked field goals, they could have been within like 1 point. When they could have been 7-6, and then this thing got out of hand quickly because of his just boneheaded nature of going for fourth downs when he shouldn't have. But things that just feel good is that while their backs were up against the wall, look at this time of possession that 33 minutes to 26 minutes, and it just felt incredible. Our defense was absolute lights out, and that felt just beyond good to just see the kind of pressure that they were putting on Herbert. Reminded me of the pressure other places were putting on us this year. It reminded me of Houston last year. And a lot of people are going to say that, good job, Broncos, you just beat a backup quarterback and stick. Well, the fact is that they actually looked better when the backup quarterback came in than when Herbert came in. And so it was a dominating performance against a very good team. This team had, last week they held New England Patriots to 0 points. The Patriots, who just on a short week went on the road and beat a playoff team in the Steelers, and they held them to 0 points, and the Broncos dropped 24 on them. Really could have put one more in there at the end and made this score even more lopsided than it was. That feels incredible. The other thing that feels incredible is that look at the production that we saw out of our tight ends. The first video that ever popped on this channel, the one that went to like 20,000 views, was when our man Lucas Kroll, the Viking, had his shirt off. He looked super ripped, and I said he has all the physical traits to be a Travis Kelce. And you saw his speed and his smarts on that in the 2-minute drill where he caught it on the sideline, got out of bounds, plus the face mask call that set up our first touchdown. And then probably like my favorite play of the game was that touchdown pass from Russell Wilson to Troutman in the end zone when he had Javonte and a fullback and then another lineman in the back. And it was just that beautiful play design where Russell faked it, rolled out, and just a little dump off over the top to Troutman. So that felt just so good to see the tight ends. I said in the last video that I made on this channel that I thought if the Broncos had an option at tight end, Sean Payton's offense relies on tight ends. Russell Wilson played incredible when he had Jimmy Graham, and if he has a tight end, that opens up the middle of the field. We saw that tonight, and we had, I think one of the high points of this game for me was just that 7-minute drive to ice this thing, to just say, to put our foot on their throats and just say, you're not coming back in this. We're a good playoff team. We're making the playoffs, even though everyone doubted us when we were 1-5, and you're not coming back to even make this thing close. So much to break down this week. Looking here at the NFL playoff race, this is pretty incredible to just see that things were really looking good for us today in the NFL, that a lot of the teams we wanted to keep racking up those L's were, with the Texans losing to the Jets. That is a great thing for us. Like, we want them to lose games. And if you just look at the teams in front of us, how do you feel? We got Gardner Minshew and the Indianapolis Colts, Mitchell Trubisky and the Pittsburgh Steelers, Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns in front of us. And that just feels like I would rather have Russell Wilson and our coach than any of the teams in front of us. And we're going to make the playoffs. We're going to be favored in every single game that we have going forward. We get to play the Chargers one more time. We get to play the Patriots, who have not been good. And then we get to play the Raiders. And so we're going to have a tough game this week at Detroit. We're going to break all that down and a lot more. But the fact of the matter is that we have green grass in front of us. I've been saying that since we were 1-5. And I hope you all believe. I hope you're hopping on the bandwagon, because there is plenty of room. Other huge thing that happened was that the Bills kept their playoff chances alive. We own the tiebreaker with the Bills because of that. Remember that game when everyone said we didn't have a chance against the Bills, and then we beat them? Well, we own the tiebreaker because of that. But the Bills beat the Chiefs, which means we're a game behind winning the AFC West. Like, I was talking to a Chiefs fan who I work with, and he said something like, well, you might make the playoffs. And I said, hey, we're not coming for the playoffs. We're coming for the AFC West. And I don't know if I actually believe that, or if it's just like all this excitement and energy in me, but that would be amazing. Regardless, the Broncos started 1-5. I said, we have a chance. We are about to shock the world, going from 1-5 to being the hottest team in football right now. No one wants to play us. We had Russell Wilson on the 8-yard line with 4 chances to beat the Texans when we had no business beating them. We blew out a team where Vegas thought we were going to lose by 4 points today to the Chargers, and we blew them out, and it wasn't even close. And so no one wants to play us now because we are hot, and that feels absolutely incredible. If you're new to this channel, I've been taking us all along this journey. I've loved this community. We have great comments and posters, and I just cannot wait for what the future holds, because we're going to the playoffs, so we will catch you all in January and February.